course, announcement from Benjamin C. Steele talking to you about wearing a mask. Not this one, but this one. With everything going on right now with this pandemic, you need to wear a mask. My mask is for your safety. Your mask is for mine. I don't care what your uncles, brothers, best friends, mailman's roommate from college put on social media. Chances are they didn't think it through, and there's a very better than average chance that they're an idiot. So when you go outside, you put on your little mask over your face, put the little straps around your ears, and we're all going to be a lot safer. This is a team.
I think I just, hi. Hey, somebody DM me if I said something really weird I shouldn't have live on air.
There's no one in here yet.
Back to the...
Parental discretion is advised.
This show is brought to you by IndieWrestling.us and IndieWrestling.network for your independent wrestling entertainment. Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show, episode 826? No, 36. Hold on. I want to double check that. That's a lot of Tuesdays we have been talking about professionalized wrestling here with our good friends far and wide across this Mayhem Nation. Of course, we have with us, as part of that Mayhem Nation, one of the friends we found along the way. It's like the side of the internet highway. Super highway. He was hitchhiking, had his thumb out, and is wearing that exact shirt. That's amazing. He is Mad Mike in Beacon, New York, the only Mayhemmer with a future endeavored letter from the WWE. Framed.
Sorg. I mean, Wheels and Partner already. Are you feeling Ucey tonight?
Are you playing? Is that what it's called when I get a notification from the health department about COVID notification?
No. I believe that would be called, I don't know.
Ucey?
I don't know.
Ucey? No, that's monkeypox.
Ucey.
No, that's
Yeah,
monkeypox
Ucey.
if you're feeling Ucey. So I don't.
Well, that's true. Right.
Yeah.
But Sorg, are you feeling Ucey tonight?
I think I'm feeling pretty Ucey tonight. You know what? I was tired. I was kind of run down. I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to have energy for 2 hours of the show. And then we started this up, and I'm feeling good. I'm hanging with you again. And see, this is it. We can see each other. We can see each other this week. That's helpful. There are no attack ads on the docket this week, by the way. I want to make that clear. So I'm sorry that got in there last week.
So honestly, I felt a little hurt by that.
I mean, there was a little bit. I mean, have you seen the attack ads in general? I'm hurt from them, and they don't affect me. So, jeez.
I know.
That was actually calm compared to what I saw.
Imagine you're the one getting attacked.
Yeah. Jeez. I didn't know that we left in a crime hellscape around here.
Oh,
so,
I mean, I knew that.
Okay, there was a shooting like last week, like right up the road from us. But
I was gonna say
I don't
wrestling is a crime hellscape.
It kind of is. It kind of is. I love.
Let's be perfectly honest.
Listen, I like violence, but when it's between the ropes. Okay.
And occasionally inside an arena.
Yes.
Occasionally.
But anyways,
Yes.
the point is this is a wrestling show. And did you know that?
It sure is.
It sure is. And we talk about those kinds of things. Tonight, of course, we're going to talk about Crown Jewel is coming up this weekend. We're going to talk about I got to be backstage for a New Japan wrestling show. Not like a show that was part of a menagerie of things at a WrestleCon, but an actual legitimate New Japan wrestling show in New York City at Times Square this past weekend. I wasn't even supposed to be there that day.
Okay, Dante.
It went a lot better than that situation.
Yes.
But no, Missy was working that, and then I got to go out to Seattle for Saturday's Defy wrestling show on Fight TV, their first debut on Fight TV, and my second time out there with that crew. We'll be talking about that here later in the show, so please stay tuned for that. I got a lot of stuff, and I got some stuff for the Patreon as well to talk about that, because there's a few things that are kind of behind the scenesy, and I don't want to, there should be certain levels to this.
And also, as a tease for the Patreon people, I have just recently caught up with Doctor Who.
Ooh, I need to before the Disney stuff takes over. Okay, I'm late Capaldi. I got like a doctor and a third to get through. So right.
Oh boy, yeah, you got some work to do.
Who's the new doctor? I heard the name on a podcast today.
Oh, Shruti Gupta, I think, something like that. I don't exactly know how.
Is it somebody I know?
Well, okay, so there's a new doctor and a new doctor.
Okay. Oh, because we have a transitional doctor of Tenet,
But
right?
the new doctor is similar to an old doctor, but it's not the new doctor.
So Tenet is the 14th, and then is returning as the 14th, and then this Gatwa gentleman is like, oh, good. I'm glad to see they're mixing it up.
Yes.
Good. Oh, that's gonna be a fun doctor. I'm just looking. I don't know.
Oh,
is that a picture of him as the doctor in this thing where he's all tie-y and stuff?
Yeah, he looks fun.
Okay. All right, I dig it.
Fun.
I mean, I don't even know anything about this dude, but just if that gives off his persona, I want to see it. Anyways, Nukta Gatwa?
I honestly,
we'll all know it. A year from now when he pops up, we're all going to know it by heart.
Trust me.
We're still in the learning phase.
He's going to be at D23. He's going to be at San Diego Comic-Con. We're going to know his damn name.
Yes, right. Yes, we will. And probably in the wonderful accent of David Tennant. Anyways, back to it. Where the hell are we? Hey, we need to introduce the show, don't we? This is the Wrestling Mayhem Show. You can check out everything at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. You can hit us up at that email address.
Good times.
Good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. You can hit us up on the Facebook page and group. A lot of great discussion happening on the Facebook group. A lot of things being shared on the group. Pictures from shows we've been to. Other news is coming on. Other things like special artwork about feeling Ucey. So much going on there. So please check that out. And no, I came from New York City. I guess I could have brought some. I didn't even get pizza in New York City, guys. It was the next day that they had it on the catering, and it was kind of busy. But anyways, I lost my place.
Besides,
please.
Times Square. Just for the uneducated, Times Square is not necessarily the place you want to get pizza.
That's what I figured. That's really what I figured. I think they ended up eating.
There are places. There are spots, but you really have to.
I found the most wonderful diner in Newark because our hotel was in Newark, and it was like a diner, but it was like a nice diner, And I'm like, I don't know if this is a fancy diner or these prices are just New York. I'm pretty sure they were just New York because it was a little more.
Was it featured on Diners, Dive-Ins, and Drives?
It feels like something that would have actually.
Yeah, it might have.
They had like
I know there's one somewhere around there.
Like the Coach Diner or something like that. It sounds familiar. Okay, it was like right up down the road from our hotel. Anyways, about that.
Yes.
Where was I at? Where am I at? Where was I just talking about?
Patreon.
Facebook. Patreon. No, we haven't got to that. Subscribe to us. To us is the next thing on the podcast. Please, hey, I want to see if you're not a Patreon supporter. And I want to see, I got something for you. If you are not a Patreon supporter, please, we need some comments. Go to iTunes if you have the Apple device. Go to iTunes. Go to Google Podcasts. Please leave a review and star for the show. Please screen cap it. Please send it to goodtimes@WrestlingMayhemShow.com, and I will give you a free month to the Indie Wrestling Network.
And I'll also read your review in a funny voice.
That's right.
You can request funny voices. I will attempt them.
Funny voice to be determined. Anyways, there's a few impressions we have not heard for a while. Do not spoil them. Anyways,
Yeah, no,
and we are now
absolutely
at 10 p.m. Eastern time or after the NXT overrun. Here on the East Coast. That is the new time for the Wrestling Mayhem show. This is our third week trying this out, and we'll see if we're still feeling Ucey by the end. Thank you to our Patreon supporters at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem show. First of all, our friends at the fan of the show level. I don't have the new thing for Aiden in here. I didn't copy and paste it over yet.
I still have it.
You have it, so I'll let you do
in
that.
the Slack.
Okay. You have it. We'll toss that. First of all, at the fan of the show level, our friends of the show, Bo Diggity! Woo! As well as Ed Berg, Team Hammerfist, and Bobby F. J-Town. At the Poppy Club level, Dave Potter and Aiden.
Just the biggest hustler and WWE, AEW, GCW fan walking this island of Ireland.
And this just in... I messed this up. Blase? Is that your name out there? I think I said it right. Blaze. No, it's Blaze.
Blaze?
I remember this.
Like, it's Blaze.
It's Blaze. I remember this. I was corrected.
It's a Pokemon gym trainer.
Is that what that is?
Well, I mean, I know that's...
I don't know that's...
I know there is a Pokemon
I believe this
gym
is.
trainer
I believe this
named
is the gentleman.
He has a Charizard.
I believe he's the one that I met at RWA that does a podcast with Doc. If I'm not mistaken, faces and things. I'm not good. But anyways, Blaze says, by the way, we just hit 1K subscribers on YouTube. Now, that seems like not a great achievement since we've been on YouTube for over a decade. But we've actually been paying attention to our YouTube the last couple of months and actually working at it a little bit and doing YouTube-y things. So thank you so much, everybody. Getting us over 1,000. That's when they opened the magical door to the YouTube.
Does that mean we have to do a hot tub stream now?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we have to do hot tub streams. We have to do unboxings. And iJustine has to come back on the show. Like, it's like a requirement or something, right?
You know, we could probably get that all in one episode.
You know, I'm pretty sure I could just ask her to be on the show still.
I'm
like,
sure
even after all these
could.
years, you know, I mean, I think she remembers that time we had her wear a monkey head. So, I mean, how many? I don't think G4 made her put a monkey head, or Call of Duty, or that time she was on Law and Order as a dead body. You know, I mean,
Sorg, who among us hasn't put on a monkey head?
By the way, I now know 2 people that I've worked with that have been on Law and Order.
Dun dun.
Yeah. One of the guys that was on the old Debristas web show, BC Steel. I hope you're out there for the something desired, the one something to be desired fan out there. But Eric Shark was was putting a clip up that he was on that the other day. So WrestleSense podcast. Yes, I think I got all my things connected here. CJ Sensation's on that podcast. Remember him?
Oh boy.
Blase is my maximum male model application name, though. Thank you.
Fair.
Hey, we gotta get through the rest of Patreon. Pizza Club level is Doc Remy and the Riz sharing a pizza together over there. And at the manager level, our friends Bradley, the mother of dragons, Tina Keys, who I got to see on Saturday. I there's a selfie to prove it. I did not have a lot of time in Seattle, so I said, "Where are you? Don't leave yet. I need to see you before you leave to prove that we were in the same building." And of course, our friends at OccupyProWrestling.com returning to the manager level. Go check out our friends over there. You can support the show too. We have the Now After show, which we will be doing every single week, Mike. Every single week. Well, we talked about Black Adam last week. We're going to be talking about more of the things that behind the scenes after today, and you're going to talk about your Marvel addiction.
Yeah, I have a new one. It's fun.
By the way, Vision Crest. How about that?
Yeah. And also Young Avengers. Yes,
excited for all of it.
Lots of stuff.
Patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. So, I did not select the first segment. This is our open-ended first segment. What is on your mind, Mike? What is the biggest news other than the Doctor Who specials that's going on here? First of all, looks like R-Truth may have been injured tonight. So, he's been on fire. They've been using it on every show. Coming up again last night with Baron Corbin and JBL and everything, but unfortunately, it looks like he may have legitimately been injured on NXT this evening. So hoping that is a I'm hoping that is a speedy recovery and not as serious as it might have looked. So because they did end the match at that point, and call it for that. But so I'm hoping. So I'm hoping that works out for him because he's
And also, while we're on sort of a somber note before we get into like more fun stuff, big shout out and thoughts and prayers that go out to Carmella and Corey.
Yes, absolutely.
We don't need to get into it.
No, absolutely not.
But like, just if you know, you know. If you don't, just send good vibes out there for them.
Yes, absolutely. That's a tough situation. You can go. I believe she put the entire thing on her Twitter as well, so you can see what's going on there. Excuse me. I am catching up and hoping my web browser loads here. So from this week, oh God, there was something I did want to bring up at the beginning of the show, but it has escaped me. Other than Rhea Ripley is such a scamp.
Is this the shoes thing?
Yeah, it looks like it was a house show over the weekend, and she reached through the rails and untied somebody's shoe at ringside.
I love it. Honestly, more of that.
Yes.
More of just messing with fans.
I mean, the best thing, like, I really like. There's these house show MVPs. Kevin Owens. I remember the holiday show. The video made the rounds like not too long ago again, but Kevin Owens came out twice, I believe, during the show, because I think they cut a promo to set up a match later in the night, and they have that smaller LED board. It's a good size still, but it's not the fucking amazing huge Raw one. But they had the board, and they had like the blow up Christmas decorations, and he would come out and destroy them every time. And there was like the desk.
Didn't he give a stunner to an inflatable Santa Claus?
I think he might have, yeah. So they did it, and like and you just saw they're at one of the production tables, like just off the stage, right? Because everything's just like kind of smooshed together at the house shows. They just don't do as much, right? They don't have as much to do, but still they got to be there, and that's probably the people controlling and pretty much running the show at that point, right? And you just saw them, like this one girl, like, oh no, like, and it looked like oh no, I spent so much time putting those decorations up. and then they go and they cobble them back together and everything, and he comes back for his match and just freaking punts the snowman and everything. So like he's always like like the time when he was talking about how much money he made because somebody was yelling at him for re-signing and making Roman Reigns like laugh in a headlock, like house show MVPs. They're like, I'm not on TV. I can play with the fans a little bit more and entertain themselves, and people come away with special memories.
Speaking of house show MVPs, did you see the clip over the weekend of what Sami Zayn did?
What did he do? I don't know this.
So Sami Zayn was having a match with Braun Strowman. So he knocked Braun down, and then he hit Braun with a Superman punch. He did the whole thing. He did the whole Roman thing. He cocked his arm. He hit a Superman punch. Then he went to the corner, and he did ooh-ah! And that's where the clip cut off. I'm presuming he got his ass.
You're presuming it went badly from there.
I'm presuming it did not go
It probably went bad. So Sammy's actually, because again, this is a backstage report, so please take it with a grain of salt. But supposedly the Kevin Owens, because remember, they looked like they were kind of working up a story with the two of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe... Owens was on TV for at least a week and a half or so asking Sami what he was doing.
Yeah.
And they're doing it on their Twitter feed and everything like that too. But Sami Zayn is too good.
He's too good. He's too over. And Mike, I think he finally did it on Friday. I think he finally cracked absolutely everybody.
The one he didn't get was Paul. Paul managed a slight smirk. But I think that's all you're ever going to get, Paul.
Yeah, Paul's too good.
I think the only person that can actually crack Paul is Brock Lesnar.
The looks he gets from
Paul. Because it's unexpected.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It was like when Brock wanted to hear a knock joke, I think that might have gotten Paul.
Somebody shared the clip of Lesnar, Paul, and R-Truth when he declared and then undeclared himself for the Royal Rumble.
Yes. Oh well, and that broke Brock real.
Yeah, he just lost his absolute. Because I feel like they don't. Like, he just goes out there to look badass, and Paul handles it, right? Like, I don't think he's clued in. I feel like he doesn't bother to get clued into these kinds of things. But God, it makes for such great.
There's no way that anyone back there gives Brock a script.
No.
No way. That doesn't occur.
He's not the "you're going to say this." This is the "what do you want to say tonight?" You know, maybe plug the pay-per-view and just call this guy out and here's some ideas. Nope, okay. So I'm trying to remember if the Gerwitz book had anything about him, because I can't remember that. No, I don't think.
No, not really.
I'm thinking like working with like well, there was the one where it was the Rock and Ronda
remember,
Rousey.
he was on Raw for most of the time that.
So
Brock
he missed out on Brock.
Smack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we're talking more about like house show MVPs. Have you heard the story of the running bet between the New Day and the Iconics?
No. Wait, no. I feel like you told me about this, but refresh
where
me.
they would try and incorporate weird spots into matches.
Okay.
And Biggie, I remember Biggie telling the story. I think it was on their podcast or something like that, where he told the story about the Iconics getting a rowboat spot into a match with like Dana Brooke and Tamina or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, I didn't even know what a rowboat spot was, but they like both sat down, they joined their feet, and they each grabbed Dana Brooke's arms and just started doing a rowboat. He's like, I don't think Dana knew what was going on. It's I'm sure I'm gonna look it up right now because it's somewhere on the internet.
Fantastic. I love it. But that's great. Geez, that's that's what I love. I mean, that's what you love about indie shows too, right? Because people do wacky stuff like that, right? Like, oh, geez, why is nothing coming out of my head? So everything from like getting hit by a rubber mallet. Or a inflatable mallet or something. I remember from the Christmas show last year, or things like that. So those are. Or who's the guy? Who's the guy I've been seeing on AAW? I know he's somebody that we had at RWA, but he like hurdled a kid. He like set up for the move and then like had the guy set up like on the floor, like, and it was like a run across the front of the ring at the guy kind of thing. And part of it was like jumping over the kid sitting in a chair. Like he was doing some like Daredevil move or something like that. Like it would, that kind of stuff. That's very exciting, that, and the unpredictability and things like that. Right. So,
okay. I got the source. It's from the Iconics Offered Chops podcast.
Okay.
And it was Lana that they did this.
Of course, it was Lana.
So,
Lana was the butt of so many things in that era.
So basically, they said that they had challenges going back and forth, and one time Woods texted them to do the row the boat in the middle of the match, and they said challenge accepted. And all right, so this is the exact quote. It was just a regular tag. I want to say it was against Naomi and Lana. I only remember Lana, but I don't remember who her partner was. So she tagged Cassie in, and they put Lana on the ground with a snapmare, and they just told Lana to stay there. One of them went behind her, and one went down in front of her and started rowing a boat. Lana was like, "What do I do?" And she just said, "Just sit down." And then Biggie said that they got bonus points because he didn't know that they were going to have someone in the boat with them.
I love it. This is this is wrestling. This is wrestling,
absolutely.
ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh, there's so much going on. How are you feeling, Bray Wyatt? We haven't talked about Bray Wyatt. I don't feel like we didn't touch on him last week.
Oh well, Uncle Howdy.
Uncle Howdy.
Uncle Howdy.
Uncle Howdy. I love somebody that pointed out that it looks like it's Aleister Black with the eye.
It looks like a bunch of people.
Yeah, it does. It does. I mean, obviously it's Bray in makeup, but
I don't know if it's Bray.
I'm relatively sure it's Bray.
I think it might be Bo Dallas.
Ooh, wouldn't that be interesting? Ooh.
I think it might be Bo Dallas.
Ooh. I'm leaning towards the Bray thing, but I like your theory.
And hell, it could be Barry Windham.
Could be Barry Windham.
Why not?
Okay, all right, maybe.
That's his
maybe.
legit uncle.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. It would be great if Mike Rotunda hops in there, and so, but no. So it is interesting because it is like him coming out and kind of being more personable, and then getting interrupted by the creepy thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
absolutely.
Go ahead.
It's weird. Like,
it's different.
It's definitely different. I like that Bray is treating the last 5 minutes of SmackDown like his therapy session.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that.
Just like this podcast.
It's going to be interesting to see where they go with it. I think that's where the real rub is going to come in. Because right now it's just Bray talking. So Bray talking is always going to be captivating, but we need to see where it goes.
Yeah, it needs to turn into something, And is this Howdy character, is that going to be a character that is just kind of in the background while he has to get to matches? This is the thing. No matter what story you have going on, you got to get to wrestling matches, right? Ideally, this leads to something. This leads to a feud, or is the feud just with himself?
It might just be.
Mm-hmm.
It might just be a feud with himself, which I'd be here for it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. So the theory is that this is partially created by Bray and the Marvel Rare the former Marvel Rare that WWE brought in.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a feeling eventually we're getting to a splash page.
The big Bray Wyatt splash page.
I have a feeling we're eventually getting there. I don't know what that's going to consist of, but it's going to be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of wish that they didn't have the weird lighting for his promo.
For Howdy or just him?
No, for him, because if they want us to buy that it's just him, turn the house lights.
I agree, but I think it's just generally on brand with him, right? This is that. Undertaker kind of became an amalgam of all of the things he was over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think Bray's kind of in that phase-ish, at least for the moment. I feel like the character, the persona that was the Swamp cult leader is I still consider that probably the closest to him, probably. Or at least that's what we're kind of depicting here, right? He has the lantern, he's doing that whole thing. You're just this is Bray Wyatt. This is the guy that came out of the swamp, and this is him, without all the things that have plagued him, right? So, I think the light works. Now, how long do we continue having him interrupted while he's pouring his heart out over the weeks? That's going to be a little okay, we need to get to the next step, guys, So I'm hoping they don't. Now I'm very curious because they do have him coming to Crown Jewel this Saturday. So what is that? Is that him getting involved? Is that it was something? I can't imagine he's going all the way to, halfway around the world just to do the same thing again. There has to be a revelation. There has to be something, and maybe we'll just find out, what does he get involved with? Who does he get involved with? Over there, it could be anything because there's no discernible direction at this point, right? Other than the fight with himself, or does himself arrive?
Or maybe he just really hates Logan Paul.
Maybe he just really hates Logan Paul. Maybe he's just been on YouTube this last year, and that's why he's been so depressed, like so many people.
Same.
Yeah, right. But anyways, just double checking the chat. Apparently NXT was really bad tonight. Yeah, it was there. I accepted it. It was NXT. It feels like they have a lot of moving parts and making up for a couple people that have disappeared. There was a sad flag spot because I believe the one guy that got let go today.
Yeah, Bodie got let go.
Bodie got let go, and Thea's looking at the flag, and it was just and he's like, and the teacher guy's like, "What's wrong?" It's like, who's gonna carry the flag?
Well, Okay, so it's weird. So I was watching Level Up this
Mhm.
past week, and Thea Hale had a match,
Mm-hmm.
and Andre Chase came out with no Bodhi. I'm like, oh, that's really weird. And I
Mhm.
guess that must have been in the turnaround. But Duke Hudson came in, he waved that flag,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I mean, it sucks when anyone loses their job or anything like that. But Bodhi seemed like a good project,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully you get something else. I mean, there are a lot of opportunities out there, and
Mhm.
and I don't know if he was he a college signing or something like that.
I don't believe so. I know he was like just in a. Actually, instead of me speculating,
Yeah, let's hit the research department because
Yeah.
this is the thing that I'm concerned with. If there's somebody that came from the indies and into the performance center, even just like came in from young indies or something like that, they at least know they can go back, right?
That's true.
They have the home promotion to at least go back to and start fresh, right? I worry for the people that come in off of like the football field or whatever they get people from, and then they get let go. If wrestling is the thing they want to do, I don't know that they know what to do. And Mike, I was going to talk to you about something later about something about people get on TV and they don't know how the indies work is something that I learned about this weekend. Or don't know even where to go to start. But there are like people that sounds like they're helping with that kind of situation. But anyways, how's the research department going?
There's not a whole lot. Just as he was part of a performance era class.
So I have a feeling he might have been one of those. So, but
Yeah.
you never know. I mean, the people that really, really want to do it will find a way, right? They'll
Oh,
figure it
yeah.
out. They'll figure it out. They may have to trip over themselves a couple of times, especially when you go to the indies, because that can be, how wonky that can be. So, anyways, well, hey, let's take a quick moment here, and then we'll get into some Crown Jewel speculation. We'll look forward to the show this weekend, which I was looking at the rundown on Raw last night, and I was like, this looks like a good show.
Mhm.
Forget where it is, what it is, anything like that.
The last show they had over in Saudi, the Elimination Chamber show, was damn good.
That was damn good too. Like they're treating it more like a show in the flow rather than a house show in the flow. And I think that's been really, really good to at least it helps the acceptance of the show for I think the rest of us. But that looks really good. But in the meantime, go check out IndieWrestling.us. Of course, we have the IndieWrestling.us network. You got so much stuff out over there, including our friends at VCW, Rise Wrestling, as well as RWA and 2PW Prospect Pro Wrestling. A lot of back catalog in there as well. We got a lot of great stuff. Walkin' Wild, who just premiered on SmackDown. You can check out DJ Z Gone Wild. It's just his last interview before getting signed by WWE with our friend Joe Dombrowski, Funky Joey D himself, and also with the Virgil sit down interview that we did with Joe, as the Zach Gowen documentary, and so much more is included over there with your subscription. You got a 7-day free trial when you sign up over at IndieWrestling.network, linking from IndieWrestling.us. See what else is in there. Our friends at Revenge Wrestling, Pro Wrestling Conquest. We have some of the old Warrior Wrestling shows you can check out over there as well on VOD. And of course, don't forget for our YouTube users, if you'd rather be over there, because if it's on YouTube, it's on every device if you subscribe to that, and that does include a lot of the back catalog as well as all of those top 4 promotions that we work with. So go check it out, IndieWrestling.us. You'd be surprised who turns up. Hey, there's some guy named Lee Moriarty who's taking on some guy named John Moxley this week on AEW Dynamite. And there's a couple of great compilations for Lee Moriarty, a good chunk of his Rise Wrestling career where he cut his teeth a lot over there. You got I think we have something like 6 or 8 hours of just Lee Moriarty matches straight across 2 videos you can watch over there. So go check that out too. Check out IndieWrestling.us. And that's off. So Crown Jewel. Yeah, it's happening. We can. I don't want to get into all the things. We know the background. We have complained about it year after year about the ickiness of being over there. But take the show for what the show is. And Mad Mike, you got something there?
Yeah. Before we get into the actual card, I just I hope everyone is safe over there.
Mm-hmm. Yes, there is unfortunate news. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's reports that there might be attacks in Saudi Arabia. So just knock on wood that everyone who's over there gets over there, does what they have to do, and then get back safe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's and it's true that but it's true that WWE is reportedly taking some vague added precautions and still going, it seems. So Wall Street Journal is calling it an imminent threat. That's we'll take that over Fightful. So that's mentioned in here. So and back our other research department on loan from WrestlingInc.com. Matt Cronin says Bodie is pure performance center college football guy. So I should have looked at the chat. Sorry about that. But yeah, so that is a concern. We hope everything works out. Hopefully the security is tight. Hopefully everything is good there. It's a crazy world right now, and to do big events like this on the scale WWE does. I mean, call back to was it not WrestleMania 7? I know this is up for debate apparently, but the story was they moved it from
the rumor.
The rumor is, that they had moved from the LA Coliseum. I remember watching the commercial on WrestleMania 6 that they were going to the LA Coliseum, which I think finally held wrestling for New Japan Pro Wrestling, but it was out front a couple years ago or a year ago or something like that, right? At the front gate instead of in the arena, because no way they were doing that. That there was security concerns because that was around the Gulf War, and they were doing Hulk Hogan versus Iraqi sympathizer Sergeant Slaughter. So, maybe, I don't know who the threat officially was. These days, you got to think.
I think, as always, the threat is Hulk Hogan.
Yes, there you go. So... but no, the event will go on. If there's something that comes out that they feel unsafe enough, obviously they will take measures and, do something with that, right?
Yeah.
So that's what happens when you go to foreign things. So the card, but what we will see wrestling-wise, things that we are here to do, we are not, this is the world where our wrestling podcast gets a little bit of dips the toe into geopolitics for some reason, of which I don't think either of us are experts at it with our degrees.
No, my degree is in pro wrestling, as you can see.
Pro wrestling and that other thing about math or something, right? And mine
math,
is,
science,
and I'm just a multimedia grad. So it's barely, I don't even know if it was a real degree. Actually, it may not be legitimate after these years now that I find out about my school. So who knows? Am I even educated? We'll find out. Okay, there's more stuff in the chat room. I'm just catching up with this. And just for clarification, I hate to go back to this because we're trying to get to the card. Wall Street Journal report is that the Saudi government is warning the U.S. about this, and the concern is an imminent attack orchestrated by Iran.
Yep. We're just going to sidestep all of that.
Yes. So that information is...
I just hope everyone goes there, does what they have to do, and come back safe.
Yes, especially since there's legitimately friends of the show involved at this point. But everybody, of course. What the heck did I do here? Crown and then smiley face. No, that's a nervous grinny face that I just did. Anyways,
that's something very different.
Well, just announced there is of course we had new tag team champions last night, Alexa Bliss and Asuka. Jeez, why? What the hell? More coffee, please. They're going to be defending their new titles against the former champions Dakota Kai and Io Sky.
Boss time. I'm sorry.
Wait. We have to adjust our clocks.
Sorry, there's something in my throat.
We gotta adjust our clocks to Saudi. Where are they at? Riyadh or something this time?
Riyadh.
Yeah, I think. So we have to adjust our boss time watches to Riyadh local time, so we can experience boss time this weekend. Is that it? Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on. I got something for you. Hold on a second. Wait a minute.
Boy.
Wait a minute.
Oh boy, here we go.
We're gonna do it right, Mike.
I don't know what this is.
I don't know why we haven't done this whole time.
Wait, are we doing like a summoning circle? Is that what's happening?
Somebody wants to talk to you.
Oh boy,
Somebody wants to talk to you.
I'm scared.
What do you got to say
look.
to Sasha?
Hey, look, it's Sasha. Hi, Sasha. It's boss time. And Sasha's already in her festive Christmas gear. That's good.
She's speechless, Mike. She's
Yeah,
speechless. Now say what you've done.
I have
Sasha's
that
drunk.
effect on her.
Oh no, Sasha's drunk. Okay.
Oh
We're
boy.
gonna fix that. We're gonna fix that right now. Okay. Anyways.
What did you say to her? I didn't hear anything.
Nothing. I said hi, Sasha, and I was waiting for her to talk, but she seemed a little quiet. Little mum's the word.
Little mum about that because she's got a trip to Saudi Arabia to prepare for it, apparently, right?
It's true.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. Oh.
But yeah, that's what I'm presuming. That we're going with this at some point. Like, if not Saudi Arabia, then maybe the Raw after. But
Are we talking about Survivor Series in Boston?
I'm saying she's gonna be back before then to set up War Games.
She could be the surprise run-in.
Well, all right. So War Games typically either 2 teams or 3 teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what if one team is Damage Control?
Mm-hmm.
Another team is Bianca, Asuka, and Alexa. And the third team is Sasha, Naomi, and Nikki Cross.
Interesting. By the way, love Nikki Cross being back with the semi-sanity music again.
Yes.
I appreciates this.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So going back, because
Yes.
I know like a week ago I was like, "There's no women's matches on this, Mike." Well, boy, was I proven wrong.
You sure were,
you
Sorg.
you got the tag match, and
By the way, we want to shout out Raw last night opening and closing with women's matches.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's the first time I can remember that happening in a long time, if ever.
That means Paul's listening to the show, or Stephanie, or Stephanie when she's not busy
One
being
of them.
when Stephanie's not busy being gang related. Apparently,
MDK?
you didn't hear about that? Yeah,
No.
MDK all day. She's apparently a Nick Gage fan, according to Brett.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, rumor is.
I mean, who isn't? Who among us? Who among us?
The man scares the shit out of me.
As soon as he cut Chris Jericho open with a pizza slicer, I became a fan.
Listen, man, I didn't even see any of the death match. The guy just looked in my direction, and as I was sitting in the stands, and I was like, "Oh no, this guy is frightening." He's like, and he didn't. It didn't become a hardcore match. He was just in the match. I think it was against Tim Donst. Yeah. So. Yeah, also I was in Cleveland, so there's already that sense of danger. Cleveland's fine.
Cleveland is terrifying.
It's kind of terrifying, yes.
We've heard of the
Well, it
Mafia,
was
right?
terrifying. It used to be a lot more terrifying. Now,
Sorg, we know there's a Cleveland Mafia out there.
there is a Cleveland Mafia out there, and some of them started a new group. Some of them are stealing belts and putting the Rev in the hospital, and some of them are Vikings now.
But they all just give it up one time.
Yeah, no, I think it's just the one guy. I'm pretty sure.
No, I think they all give it.
We have never narrowed down what it is, J-Rock. What is it?
I think you know what it is.
What is it that we are giving it up? Because we've given it up so many times that
I mean, I think you know, Sorg.
I trust me. Nobody has given it up more times than I.
That's true. and you only had to give it up once.
I know, and still too much. Still way too much. I gave up a half hour of the show one time to J-Rock. That was a thing. He was really mad about Jake the Snake Roberts. Anyways, let's go back to it. Hey, this is a match I'm really excited about. Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar. The match that I've loved, and I love that Bobby said he's been ducking him for 20 years. Because we've been calling for this match for 20 years. And I got to say, listen, I feel like, I was listening to like a little bit ago about the Seth Rollins talking about like, hey, how'd you get in? I think it was on Stone Cold's thing, and he was like, how'd you get in with Brock? How'd you get on his good side? He's like, yeah, I showed up with like Coors Light or something, like a case of that, and like we all good, and he'd work with me, right? Apparently Dean didn't do that, so, but I get the sense because like Brock and him going at it, like you can. I mean, they're in all business and everything, but I think you can kind of tell.
And plus, there's no titles on the line now.
So titles on the line. But I think Brock's having fun with this one. I think.
Oh hell yeah!
That's why I wanted to pose is like, you think Brock is like digging this thing, and on board, because I really think he is, and I think it is because like I mean, Brock is another him. You know what I mean? He's an NCAA.
I mean, Bobby.
Bobby is another Brock, and I think in Brock's eyes, right? That he's he's an NCAA champion. He's an MMA guy. Obviously not to the extent that Brock was, but he had a good career. God, he just came up with somebody else in conversation, another UFC fighter I was talking to. This is a strange thing that's happened in my world that I can't I just keep running into UFC fighters in my job. It's like when I just ran into like, oh, this guy's a WWE guy, or former or current or whatever, was like amazing thing. Now this is the new thing, is like he was in UFC, kind of stuff. One guy retired last week. Kama Worley retired in the ring. That was weird. And surprise promoter, I think. But anyways, if you didn't, I'm not gonna get into it. I'm not that deep into it. So anyways, but I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it. But it makes me money, so I appreciate it a lot. But anyways, no, I'm really. That's honestly, out of all of this, that's the match I'm looking forward to.
Really?
That is the match I want to see. It's the match I fucking want to see, is Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley. It's the match I've wanted to see for 20 years. And they're doing it in front of gobs of people in a giant stadium. I think it's going to be killer.
I mean, I'm sure you're right. Like, their matches that they've had before and their interactions have been fantastic. And now we don't have a championship weighing down either of them. So
yeah. So like anything could really happen with this, right?
Yeah.
Including Bray Wyatt coming out and getting involved for some reason. I don't know what.
I mean,
maybe Bray starts stalking Brock Lesnar. Maybe Bray shows up and wants Lily back. I know she's still got the
Maybe Brock also has a Uncle Howdy.
Oh, I'd be like, well, listen, we all got an Uncle Howdy Bray, and this is how I deal with them at Thanksgiving. There you go. There you go. We got the OC and Judgment Day 6-man tag team match. We had Luke Gallows saying that he had a solution for Rhea, and then just got punked out again this week. Are we doing this at the pay-per-view? It has to be, right?
So they said they had to find a solution for Rhea. First, Luke said that his charm and swagger would be the solution for Rhea.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
And then he got hit in the nuts again.
Okay.
So that
okay. So that was the setup. I thought
setup. That was the setup. And then on Raw Talk this week, AJ Styles asked Kathy Kelly if she would help, and they were like Gallows and Anderson were just like, no, that's not gonna.
Oh jeez. Wait, appreciating Kathy Kelly being back, because they mess with her so bad.
Oh, I missed Kathy Kelly.
Yes, I forgot.
I missed Kathy Kelly a lot.
I'm like, why is everybody excited about Kathy Kelly? Which one was this? And it was like, oh right,
it's Queen Kathy.
Right. Queen Kathy.
Come on, Sorg.
Is she the one that went to journalism for this?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, that clicks everything back together in my Swiss cheese brain.
God, now I want to watch that.
Somebody's gonna have an iconic YouTube rat hole kind of night, aren't they?
It might be.
Twitter is so good. By the way, Twitter is so good about bringing good memories back to me between like the Brock Lesnar R-Truth thing, and then you'll see. Listen, most of them I retweet on the Mayhem Show account, so you can tell when I'm having a good time. So Omos and Braun Strowman, big dudes doing big dude things.
Big meaty men, bumping meat.
They're gonna be bumping some meat. And listen, and also, these are the largest guys that can move the best. So this could be fun. Are you ready for like Strowman to get caught in a cross body block by Omos?
I kind of want the ring to implode, but like.
But then they have to be the main event, or
Yeah, I know.
Or Brock Lesnar needs to has to take another tractor in
And by the
to
way,
bring a ring back.
I just posted in the chat room.
Oh, there it is. Oh boy, look at that. Look at that classic.
Took me 0 seconds.
Look at that classic. Oh my gosh, I'm not putting on the thing because we'll get taken down. But I mean, come on. Oh, that's me talking. That doesn't work. Everything's playing at the same time. Oh no, this is a technical. I shared with you, Mike, Talkville with Superman and Lex Luthor themselves. Not Luger, that's the other guy. And I love that they're doing voicemails with their phone up to the microphone like we used to do.
Oh yeah,
I appreciate that.
That was the first time I was on the show with you doing voicemails.
And there's these big time actors doing the same thing we do on their podcast, and he has a podcast room that he's obviously spent a little bit of money on or something, right? Because they're actors. I'm still only an episode and a half into that show, and I kind of love it, by the way. But
it's great.
I just
By the way, Sword, who do you think the OC is going to bring in?
There was a rumor of Mia Yim.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of like somebody who's not involved. Like Beth Phoenix was like, it's got to be somebody kind of badass. Like who could step up to Rhea, right? Yeah. Bianca's involved. I mean, I don't think they would do Charlotte for this situation. Maybe this is boss time.
No, I don't think so.
No, you don't think so?
No.
And we're like, listen, boss time. You want to club it up? I want to club it up, Big Daddy.
Wow. Okay.
Luke Gallows gave me a call.
I've also
I'm the solution. Fuck Marina Shafir.
I've also heard rumors that they want to bring back Tegan Knox.
Who?
I can't take you seriously.
You better, because I'm the boss, bitch.
Oh my god.
Man, we haven't done prop comedy for a while.
Yeah, I know. Did you
There's
go
a
to
reason.
journalism for that?
I went to improv school for that.
But I mean, it could be it could be Raquel, who we haven't seen on SmackDown in a bit. Hell, it could be Emma.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? Emma just came back.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of anybody that could be free agenty that they would bring back that's been out and about there.
No, there's one free agent out there. I don't want to say the name to invoke this free agent, but there is one free agent out there.
Okay.
I'll say the name.
Jillian Hall.
Nope. could be Nia Jax.
I
don't want it. I don't want it.
I don't think anybody would want it. It would make it happen. You know.
I'm going on record saying I don't want it, but it could be Nia Jax.
I'm trying to think like would Becky Lynch be, you know? But no, I think she'd.
Oh no, Becky has her own gig coming up.
I know she's gonna play Cyndi Lauper in Young Rock. Yes. Excited. And we didn't even mention that part about that one pop up in Black Adam, by the way, last week.
Yeah, we did.
We did? Oh, wait, we did. I don't know.
We talked all about it.
We did talk all about it and how everybody's coming along with it. Yeah.
And one thing, while we're in the middle of this, Shinsuke Nakamura is going to wrestle Muda.
At Noah, yeah. Holy shit.
So that means Muda's probably going in WWE Hall of Fame. Right?
You know, and that's that subscription I got to Wrestle Universe is going to probably carry that, right? Unless they put it on pay-per-view. So, so heads up, we can probably watch it pretty easily. Yeah. So,
but that means Muda's probably going in WWE Hall of Fame. I would assume, right?
I think he would be anyways, right?
I think he would be anyway, but I would assume this would be like, hey, you know,
because he put Inoki in.
Shinsuke Nakamura, but Inoki had already had previous relations with WWE.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Muda's never wrestled.
He was unofficially the champ, right?
Unofficial.
Yeah. So. No, I could see them. Yeah, but also Muda's done WCW, and they got a lot of WCW and AWA guys and stuff like that, right? So, I don't think it's outside the realm. He's important enough. And is this his retirement tour? match?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, like he's wrestling Nakamura, and then like a couple days later or whatever, teaming with Sting.
Makes sense. I was going to ask if Sting was going to be involved because I knew he was a part of that with him. So, no, that's great. All right, back to the card. We do get Bianca Belair and Bayley in a last woman standing.
This is the match I want to see.
That's going to be great.
They're going to have they're going to steal the show or do their damnedest to do so.
We do have tag team championship match, the Brawling Brutes and the Usos. Getting Ucey with it. So this answers your question on whether the Usos can go to Saudi Arabia. Apparently not Canada, but good enough for the desert.
Yeah. But it's interesting. Sammy will not be there.
Well, no, he's not expected because he usually doesn't attend these. Yeah. So.
Well, he can't. I think
he can't.
I'm pretty sure that's
because of his alignment.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I presumed. So. Yeah. Because I know a couple people that kind of skirted things, not in Saudi Arabia, but other countries around there, where certain types of people are not terribly. Yes. So I can see that being a thing. So, both of them for work. So, anyways, that's all I have. Is there anything else on here that I'm not seeing immediately?
You mean besides Karrion Kross and Drew McIntyre?
Oh my God! Why is that not on their show page? Oh, it's below the fold. Sorry. Steel cage match. Karrion Kross, who I had a brief chat with and worked with in the Indianapolis area in March, is now in the desert in a steel cage match. That is wild to me. But anyways, that's going to be fun. I think that'll be great. I don't know if it's a feud ender. I kind of hope so since it's a steel cage, but I can see them carrying to the next pay-per-view. Do a trilogy.
And Sorg, we got to talk about the main event.
Oh, shit, there's a main event too. Yes, where Logan Paul will become the next undisputed heavyweight champion.
Oh, boy.
There was somebody saying how Logan Paul why he should become the next champion, and then everything in my mind is this is a less pathetic David Arquette situation. And I love David. That's respect to David Arquette, by the way. That's respect to David Arquette as an individual and an actor, and a referee. You know what this will be, Mike?
What's that?
Entertaining.
Oh yeah.
That's where I'm at. Whatever you think about the individual, he fucking delivered at SummerSlam and WrestleMania, respectively. This is a wild, what the fuck match. It's got people's attention. It's Mr. T at WrestleMania. And again, this is third WrestleMania, fourth WrestleMania, I guess, when we look at these events. I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be good. It's gonna be worth the price of admission, which for most of us is probably free, if not $5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yes.
I'm also hoping so every time they've gone overseas, Sami Zayn has done a shirt. Not giveaway, but a shirt event where all the proceeds go for Sammy for Syria.
That's good.
And I really hope if he does it again, the shirt says something to the effects of "Just stay Ucey." Or Sammy Uso, y'all.
Mike, please, if you catch wind of that shirt, let me know.
I will.
Please, because if it is an Ucey shirt and it's for a good cause, I am 100% down with it. So, just like the remember the painting New Day shirt that they did a while ago?
Yeah, I got that one.
I got that one too. Yeah, I love that one. Yeah. So, oh boy. But yeah.
Okay, Sammy for Syria. That was from last year. Sorry.
Okay, so you got last year.
That was from last year. He has a pinned tweet from last year, but.
Oh really? Okay. Well, they also went earlier this year too.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
So I wonder if that's from then. What's the date on that one?
It was like late December last year.
Oh, okay. Well, I've been leading in because I think they went in February or something.
Yes, for Elimination Chamber.
But yeah, and that's been something he's been working with for a while. Oh my God! Do you see the next tweet underneath it? Let me make sure it's showing.
Mhm.
I went through those views. Apparently, there's been some Photoshop work.
Yeah.
And Violent J and Sammy Too Dope. Ucey P. What the hell?
There you go, Sorg. That's your
Oh
end.
no, Ucey Fruit, Wrigley's Ucey Fruit, and Vanilla Oos.
Mhm.
Oh my, that's some classic Photoshop work right there.
Very great.
Nope,
I mean,
nope. It gets weirder. It gets weirder. Oh no, there's Boosie as or Bussy.
no, I think you got it right the
F
first
Boosie,
time.
yeah, it's Boosie in this case.
Boosie.
With Effie and Alley Catch. Yep, yep. That is seared into your brain. If you're on the audio version, you are the lucky ones right now.
I don't know if that's the case.
I don't know, baby. Listen, if Sami Zayn on Alley Catch's body is your kink, I will not shame you. Much respect. Much respect. All right, Mad Mike, I am going to go into a commercial break that you are going to be completely safe in. This is a safe space this week. I swear.
Sure.
This is a safe place. I know there was an attack ad last week, you guys. It's on the YouTube if you want to go see it without digging into the show. If you didn't catch that last week, but we sussed that out. We are not taking any more advertisements from suspicious sounding, yet kind of pleasantly sounding, because I'm the committee for less bad about wrestling seems like a pretty positive thing, but our content reviewers obviously have a bias.
I just felt hurt by it, Sorg. That's all.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Well, oh no, we got some notes about our clipping from the chat. Anyways, you can go check out our friends at Slice on Broadway. Our friends at sliceonbroadway.com. Right up the street here, 5 locations here. I need to update the graphic. New York City style yins are made. It makes up for me not getting any New York City pizza. Beachview, Carnegie, East End, North Hills, and the new location in the South Side works. They've been growing just like we've been growing our operations around here, and really appreciate the support they've been giving us for well over a decade. Thank you so much, our friends, sliceonbroadway.com. We're going to hit a break here real quick and be right back, and we're going to talk about my travels. Mike, you're going to learn a little bit more about New Japan and Defy Wrestling, and going to want to stay tuned to that. We'll be right back after this.
On live, we are live now. We on Grind City TV Network.
I be getting on another level because I think on another level. I don't sit up and I don't be like I could put names out there right now, and I'm a realist.
Santana Diamond's going to where he is dangerous. I've seen this man do some aerial moves. For a man his size, unbelievable. Has him, drops that elbow right on the chair.
are back. Is the Wrestling Mayhem show, Sorgatron in Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, PA, with my friend Sasha Banks, hanging out. There she is. Yep. And of course, in up there in Beacon, New York. Hold on, I got to put her thing back on. She's got it. That sounds weird if you're on auto. Mad Mike. Mad Mike is with us.
I'm still unnerved by that sword.
Listen, there's so many props. You know, you're lucky that Roman and Hulk Hogan are plastered to the wall over there in the entranceway.
I don't want Hogan anywhere near this show.
Right. You know, I think Dean Radford wanted to buy the Hogan Sheets Hogan off of me. So he's also I had a good conversation with him because he was mad that I did not stop by the Orlando beach shop, and I was like, I saw one. I figured I'm not terribly excited about going to a Hogan thing again. You know, I got my beach shop experience out of Clearwater, and I know it's bigger and there's a wrestling ring in it and stuff, but I'm sure it's a pony ring. And one thing I learned, Mad Mike, if you're ever around a pony ring, they are dangerous.
I assume any ring that I would be near.
Yes, also a ring will probably be dangerous to you. So I always feel bad when they have the fans get in the ring for a picture or something, and nobody knows how to navigate the ropes. I tripped on the ropes when I got in to get my Norman Smiley and Shark Boy autographs at the Gathering the 1 year.
I tripped on the ropes when I went to get my Kurt Angle picture.
See?
At TNA house show.
You can't just throw uncoordinated wrestling fans at that kind of thing. The wrestling ring is the
mat is sacred.
The mat is well, not if they're letting you come in there for a picture with Ricky Steamboat, but with your dirty ass shoes, right? But anyways, what was I getting at? Just help it. Listen, promoters, just make sure there's somebody holding the ropes, saying, watch yourself, hold a hand, something like that. They're pretty decent about that at RWA when they're doing the costume contest. So there you go. What are we talking about? Oh, hey, I have a t-shirt on to remind me. Mike, I did production. Well, I did not do the production. Okay, I want to restate this. I did not direct the show. Honestly, I was just hanging out in New Japan, to be honest. By the way, I want to just generally give a shout out to the people at New Japan, the people at Defy Wrestling, for letting me along for the ride here, because both were tremendous experiences. New Japan, we've been working with since the DC show, that Capital Collision, I think it is. We've been contributing some technology to them for the live streams with Fight, and assisting with that. That has actually been Missy's gig. That's been Wife of the Show's gig. I have not been working with New Japan other than a little bit I did over WrestleCon weekend, but she brings me back nice shirts. But anyways, but no, and I've worked with of course Patrick over there a bit, and some of the really cool people. Again, met a lot of them at WrestleCon. So considering the weekend, they of course had their Rumble on 44th Street. Make sure I get the street right. And they had a night before Rumble on 44th Street. Mike, you got to see the show. It'll be on World probably in about a month. It's on pay-per-view right now with Fight and on World. Actually, World did not carry this. This was a U.S. only show on stream. We did not have the Japanese connections that night. They came for the second night. I think it was kind of like an add-on show. This was a surprise show. Everything was a surprise on the show. Matt and I talk about this, the New Year's Dash and things like that. Things like when we got the production sheet, Mike, literally it was the match format with question marks for the entire sheet. That was the joke, right?
That's lovely.
Isn't that fantastic? So there was no chance to spoil it. But of course, we know now Jonathan Gresham showed up to set up for a challenge for Red Rosser. You know him as Darren Young in WWE. He's a current strong champion, so like the American program champion, strong open weight they call it. The Motor City Machine Guns on the second night actually won the strong tag team championships from Aussie Open. So big news there. So we're going through this, and there's some great matches. Suzuki had a match with Hot Sauce. Tracy Williams, I think his name is. I don't know why that escapes me right now. Like some great stuff there. And the main event, we're getting to like the last match,
and they had the poster with everybody on. It's got like Okada, it's got Tom Lawler, it's got all these mainstays from New Japan on this poster, and they had not come out for a match yet. And we're getting to the main event. Mike, this was Tom Lawler and the Filthy Crew come out, like, 3 guys, and they're wearing like nun outfits and stuff. It's Halloween.
Mm-hmm. They're the Filthy Nuns.
They're the Filthy Nuns. Yes, it was pretty interesting. Then Bullet Club comes out, like Jay White, Juice Robinson, and I can't remember if there was a third one or not. That escapes me. But so they come out. And on the other side, it's like John Moxley comes out with Shooter. He's the big surprise, right? Okada comes out. Amazing Red was a surprise on that one, right? Right?
Like Amazing Red?
Yeah, like Amazing Red, right?
Wow.
From TNA, we had him in RWA, a great series with Sanjay Dutt here like 5 years ago in the Pittsburgh area. That Amazing Red. And it was like a 13-person Survivor Series match. But in New Japan style, you can also be eliminated by being thrown over the top rope. Because that's how they do eliminations. It was just like their battle royals. I mean, it was, about like help me, Matt, what do they call the battle royal before Wrestle Kingdom? It's like he'll help me out with that. It's got a specific name, but again, like those are like top rope pin submission, right? It's just the Japan way they do things. It's just like they have the 20 count,
Yeah, no, I remember, like they used to have it. It was like the I can't think of the name.
I know, it's escaping me, but somebody's out there is yelling at us through the interwebs. But that was a lot of fun, and again, just to be behind there, worked with the one guy he's actually the guy that was the director for Ring of Honor for I think about a decade. It was good to just see how somebody else runs a show. I was able to assist with a couple of technical things, setting up for the show. So at least I felt useful, since I didn't technically have a job that day. But yeah, of course, Rob was on cameras for both nights and everything, and may have accidentally tripped Okada on his ring entrance on the second night. How
dare you?
So Rob almost, killed a legend. But so that was a lot of fun. Again, thank you so much to them for helping us, for letting us, be a part of the show, and looking forward to, hopefully some opportunities to work with them again in the future. It's always a tremendous experience, and again, we learn so much that we can bring to other productions when we get to do something like this and be working with something. Mike, for me, I was sitting there watching, on the monitors this show, and hearing it. I can't see the ring from where we're at. We're kind of on. It was like a theater venue kind of situation. It was really odd and really kind of a hard, awkward setup with the hard cam and everything like that was a problem through most of the night. Not King of Wrestling Battle Royal. It's something else. Or maybe it is. Maybe it was the Anyways. So maybe that's what it is now. I realized, Mike, I don't remember if I expressed this to you, but the year of COVID, they were supposed to come back to Madison Square Garden.
Yes, I remember this. I was actually going to go to it.
You were, yeah. I think we were both talking about it. It's like, August, we're freaking doing this. We're freaking going. We're going to New York and seeing New Japan.
Wikipedia just says the New Japan Rumble.
Maybe that's it. Okay, maybe that is it. It might be another Japanese word or something for it. But anyways. So this is their first time in New York, and I realized, like, I closed the loop on that promise to myself to go see New Japan in New York City. To see a proper New Japan show in New York City. And that's what this was. This isn't New Japan Strong. Obviously, they have a lot of the people from that because this is America, but you got Suzuki, you got Okada, you got, your Bullet Club, Jay White. I mean, the damn IWGP World Champion is there in Jay White, right? So that was really cool. Trying to think if there's anything else from that before I move on. There were some technical things that were really interesting, and a few kind of interactions and experience that I did have. I'm going to talk about those on Patreon, those kinds of things, because I'm going to fanboy out a little bit, and that's going to happen over there. You keep it on the inside, Mike. You experienced this. You
have to.
As somebody who's been employed previously by a 3-letter wrestling company, like you got to let that inner fanboy scream on the inside, so you can be professional and keep your damn job.
The way I see it, it's like it's okay to let it out, but when you do, it's like if you blow up a balloon. It's like if you blow a balloon, but like pinch the end of it so you can feel a little air trickle out, and the balloon eventually deflates.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. You just don't want to let go and have that shit fly all over the place.
That's when you're getting text from me. I was like, guess what? I just fucking.
Yeah, that's when you're like,
and not like, and obviously
you're not allowed back.
And obviously not during the show when I know everybody's supposed to be a damn surprise, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's one of those like, oh, I can't wait till after the show. When
No. By the way, this only counts for professional settings. If you are a fan of it, by all means, let that balloon go. If you're at a fan event.
Oh, at a fan event, hell yeah!
Let the balloon fly.
No, my problem is, I don't know if I've talked about this on the show, but I know I've mentioned this several times. When I'm working an event, I told you the Marty the Moth story, right? When I got to see him and realized that I started talking like a fan and just went off the rails, and I'm like, oh, and I'm embarrassed myself. Because I was like, hey, I legitimately came to it with a question. Because my thing is, I do not want to talk to anybody at these shows unless I have something important. And in this case, it was like, I was like, listen, who are you tonight? Like, are you Martin Cassius? Are you Marty the Moth? Like, how do you want me to address you on the video? And then I brought up, like, hey, we used to tweet with you and talk about, like, Lucha Underground, blah, 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 Mayhem show. And it's like, you don't give a fuck. You don't remember the fucking, I'm so-and-so. It's like, nobody's going to remember my Twitter name, right? I think the only person that we interact with Twitter that legitimately knows who we are is probably RJ City. And that's it. Or people that have been in our basement.
Or people that have been on our show.
I don't even count that. I don't think Danhausen remembers us.
Well, I mean, on the show more than once.
Okay, yes. Frequent, like, I would come
and like actually on the show proper, not just you shoving Riz in front of someone for 5 minutes.
Oh, well, they remember Riz. I'm pretty sure they all remember Riz. Dalton Castle remembers Riz, I know. RJ remembers Riz. Pete Dunne, I don't know. He'd be like, that weird kid in Pittsburgh?
What about Butch?
Butch?
Does Butch remember him?
Butch has no memory of anything because he just slams his head into things over tables, right? I mean, that's how that rolls, right? So, but anyways, I love. Wait, Rob was almost a legend killer. RKO. What is Rob's middle name? RKB. Leaving that. So that was fun. That was a good time.
Rob Camera Knockout.
Rob Camera Knockout. There you go.
Yeah.
So. Sorry, I'm trying to collect myself on that one. Let's see that. We'll talk about that after the show. Then I went to Defy, thankfully, and I talked about this at great length over on the Awesome Cast. It's the first thing we talked about after the Patreon call earlier tonight. I talked more about the production side of it, but it was I got to watch. On the back end, I got to watch the entire pay-per-view on the plane mic on Alaska Air. Like, wow. They have internet that is, you can watch Netflix. So I'm like, I wonder if I can help on the back end of this pay-per-view. Help supervise, It's always good to have an extra set of eyeball and ears to see if, like, okay, is the lip sync off? Does this look all right? Is there any issues happening here? Any glitches or anything like that, so you can kind of suss those out. Right? I mean, the more eyeballs on the finished product, going out is better. So hopefully you can get in front of it before Twitter blows up about how something sucks about the show, right? That's always my kind of philosophy, right? Oh my God, Ronnie Nicole's in the chat room. Speaking of interactions that I've had with wrestlers, hello Ronnie. It's been a while. What is that? Glasses clink?
Been a hot minute.
There's a glasses clink emoticon there. So, but anyways, good. Seriously, good to see you. And if you're up at 10 o'clock at night on most Tuesdays, we'd love to have you on the show here in the near future. Hit me in the DMs, please. Anyways, where was I with that? So yeah, I got to see the whole show on the plane. Like Mike, it couldn't have worked out better. I was on the plane for about an hour out of Newark to Seattle. And the show wrapped with Jay White talking on the mic, and it wrapped at 10 after 11 Eastern time, and I landed at 11:15.
Nice.
It was great. And there was a technical thing, again, I mentioned on the Awesome Cast that we had to last minute do something different just because something got weird in some kind of planning in advance. Not something we had. We were kind of thrown into the situation. But something expected didn't happen, and we had to work with New Japan's YouTube channel for the pre-show. And that was a very interesting technological issue that we had to execute. Nothing I haven't done before, but definitely not for like, you know, a major wrestling promotions YouTube channel. So, but it sounds like it seemed to go off without a hitch. And Ronnie, Mike, I don't think you've ever met Ronnie Nicole, and I would love for you guys to interact.
Not in person. She's been on the show before. She's
been on this show?
Yeah.
Of course she has. Oh yeah, I remember now. Okay.
Yeah.
She did a lot of things. We've been doing this how long?
We've had a lot of people on the show.
Remember when I like forgot everybody that was on the show that one time? When I was like, oh shit, we interviewed Danhausen? You know, and shit like that.
Remember when we had Kurt Angle on the show?
Technically we did, actually.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
That's another one that I don't expect to remember that he was on the show. So,
that may be for a number of reasons.
Yeah, he was, you know. Anyway, so that was the thing. I went to Defy Wrestling. Defy Wrestling was headlined, and of course, I saw Suzuki like 2 days in a row between the other two shows, right? At least in ring or on video. The main event, Mike, was Minoru Suzuki against Filthy Tom Lawler at Defy.
Oh boy!
And you remember last time I went to Defy, right?
I sure do.
Yeah, that was the John Moxley Tom Lawler blood fest. This did not get as bloody. There was blood. There was violence. But did not get as bloody. Also, very nice that there was some nice Midwest flavor when Matt Justice and oh god, I can't remember his name. Help me, Tina. Mance Warner. We talked about him on the show, Mike. He's somebody you would love.
He was on AEW. I know who Mance Warner is.
Was he?
He
was.
Moxley.
Yeah, he was. Okay.
Yeah, he wrestled Moxley.
Love this dude. He's we see him a lot in Conquest. He's a lot. I think he's a lot in AIW up in Cleveland. And yeah, Suzuki's wonderful. I did not get a chance to get the Suzuki pillow, but they did say they'd hold one for me for next show. So, anyways, the second Gear Crew came out and they actually won the Defy tag belts first time there. And again, I was talking with some of the wrestlers after the show, and of course, Rich Bikini, who's again so thankful that he recommended me for this job back in April, because it's a hell of a ride, and the biggest thing, I talked about it before, and the only close thing I can think about for this is seeing a show with RWA as far as how loud things get, right? This is, what are they, 500-600 people in that building, and it's a hall. It's got a wraparound balcony. We're up on the one end of it, and then they have some fans on the side. So it's like, it looks like everybody's hanging from the rafters. You look at that wide shot, and it just looks crazy. It looks like everybody's on top of each other. It's got that really cool thing. Actually, there was a quote from was it public? I don't want to say it because if it wasn't public, but there's somebody, somebody that works for some company that was there, and they said that I don't think I've heard this vibe since ECW. It is hands down the best building I have been in, and it's been solidified because I've been there twice now. So definitely, and I hope, and thankfully we got a great audio engineer that actually got to pull all that in, and I've listened back to some of the show, and the thing that I've struggled with RWA, they pull off. Like, you hear how loud that is on video. Like, you can tell that the decibel levels are crazy in there, and we can hardly hear ourselves think, on commentary or on our side, and you just feel that. Like, the wrestle feels are all night. It's just absolutely crazy, and getting through a show like Mike, I get done with these shows, and this happens in a lot of places, but especially here. I get done with these shows, and I actually asked my wife if she knows this happens. I just walk back and forth because I'm coming off a high. like real bad. Hey, we wrapped that show, we got it off air, we got it off Fight. And I just started walking around and kind of trying to kind of collect a few things like headsets and things that we had to bring back. And I'm just like, I want to do that again. I just want to do that again. It's so much fun. And it's such a great crew that we work with. and it's, we're tightening the screws from the last show, and we'll tighten the screws more at the next show. And I'm loving this venture, and I'm loving that we're people are seeing what these guys are kind of building up there in the Northwest. And again, I don't know that there's a lot up in the Northwest. I know there's them, I know there's Prestige, but it sounds like it's a pretty, like, that's it. And that's for an area that's as big as like the entire Northeast, if not more, right? And that's all there is, like, that's crazy. That's crazy. And they're really representing that, and I just love that vibe. It just feels like a rock. What was I saying? What was I saying somewhere along the way where wrestling is like a rock concert mixed with theater, and a sporting event.
Okay.
Like it is. It really is, right? Especially when done right, like a lot of these companies that we work with do, and to get that vibe going, and that's really, really cool. You had that adrenaline, right, in my soul. That's where Mike starts singing. So
adrenaline in my soul. Enjoys filming shows.
And it's, not that I'm looking for it, but like incidentally, like I feel like I do other shows. Like I love Warrior. But because of the way that things are set up, like I never interact with anybody, right? I practically never interact with anybody except for I have to interact with Frank the Clown, because usually it's like, what are you planning? Where do I need a camera? What's going on, Frank? That kind of situation. So I have to tackle a clown, guys. Who's murdering you tonight, Frank? You know how that goes. But in this, like, everybody's great. They don't know who the fuck I am, but like, hey, where's the coffee and catering? Things like that, because I needed it really bad. Also, they do coffee differently in Seattle, because I'm like, oh, cool, here's the coffee. That's good. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Sorg, that's like Coffee Central.
It is. Oh, no, it is. It's pretty fantastic. What is it? Anchorhead Coffee. I think that's who, because I still got a bag of coffee hidden somewhere from last time I was out here, and I get it back, and I'm just like, God damn it! I thought this was going to be a twist. It was a beer bottle with a twist with a top.
So wait, is Starbucks to them like Sbarro is to New
Oh
York?
my God, yes. Oh yeah.
Okay,
I don't think you bring up Starbucks to them up there.
Okay, all right. I thought so.
I have not crossed that bridge. Maybe next time I'll be out there and we have like a low moment, like, so how do you guys feel about Starbucks around here? Is this like a, is it accepted, or is it is it your?
Nick could just tell us.
Is it your Olive Garden to Italians?
Hey, hold. Sorg.
Dude, bring up Olive Garden to Mambo.
Sorg. I will not stand for Olive Garden disparagement on this podcast.
I'm sorry. I love the Olive Garden. I love it. I just know what others think of it, the culture. Okay.
Sorg, I'm Italian.
Yeah, but you're not from Italy.
Well, neither is Mambo.
No, he is. No, legit, he is. Wait, are you? Whoa. Are you?
It's a work.
No, I thought it was a work. I'm like, why? I told you about when I met him. I'm like, why is this guy? I'm like, why is this guy still talking to me in the accent? Because that's how he fucking talks, Mike. He texts that way.
Okay,
legitimately. I was just talking to somebody the other day. They're like, yeah, I'm talking with him, and he completely texts like he talks. I'm like, yeah, because he's fucking Italian, dude.
Sorg, just because you have an accent doesn't mean you're from Italy.
Oh my God.
What?
Oh no. He practically needed a translator when he had him on the show. Don't you remember that?
I understood him perfectly fine.
Oh my God. Jeez. You do the show. I'm done here. All right. But fuck me. I gotta end the show soon. Anything you want to know about the show? I don't even know what else to get into. Fantastic crew. My God, Mike, we had more cameras than I ever have in any other show. Like, we had 10 slots filled on that ATEM switcher. Okay,
that's a lot.
I got a lot to play with. I got a dude walking around with a wireless, just getting crowd shots for B-roll for some other shit they want to do, and I can use it. I'm getting behind the phone shots. I'm getting this. There's a
camera on the stage, and the one guy just started moving it around a little bit, so I'm grabbing that every once in a while when it works out. I got 2 on the floor, the kind of weird corners that I'm not used to, but that's how they shoot, and, you know, they have a style. And the people, like, and I talked about last time, these are camera people that know what the fuck they're doing, you know, and my crews are great, but like these guys are like roll with and know what a fucking f-stop is and everything like that, and I'll be honestly, I barely know. So you know,
f-stop was that show in the 70s with Larry Storch, right?
What the fuck is this? Hey EW? Jeez, wrong show, man. Text RJ about that one. But anyways, but they know what the fuck they're doing. They know where to be. I just told them, they're like guys, they're coming out of me and they're like, oh man, you know, that was great. That was awesome. You know, they're, you know, getting directed and stuff. I'm just like guys, I barely fucking directed. I just let you know the camera's on. You know, you guys fucking were everywhere. I barely had to tell anybody something. I accidentally told the one dude to get back in the corner, and it was a slow-mo guy hanging out in the front of the ring. I talked to him afterwards, so I'm like, dude, your camera's too big. I'm like, I don't give a what the fuck, you don't stand here, please. You know, and you know, we best about it, but, you know, awesome dudes. But and I know they listen to the podcast.
You guys sound like Kevin Smith describing how he directs Supergirl.
This is my Supergirl.
Mm-hmm.
This is my Supergirl, and I'm so adjacent to Vancouver, so it really works, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was also introduced to some BC area that were, as you were, what was it? That's, there's a few other promotions. Don't forget the Vancouver, BC area too. I honestly keep forgetting that British Columbia is on that end of the country. I thought it was over.
You thought it was closer to British.
I thought, right?
You thought it was closer to Columbia University.
I think I'm confusing it with Newfoundland, which is like kind of an islandy thing on the right side of the map, right?
Yeah, which is ironic because the newest Foundland would be on the other side.
Well, right, but I think it works backwards. Like, you know, like driving
Canada.
on the other side of the road in some countries.
Like Canada.
Like, oh, they're all pleasant. There's a guy.
I never said they weren't.
There's a guy debuting there from Korea, sir. That was fantastic. Mance Warner.
That's
yes.
awesome.
Some BC area that were, and dude, there were 2 debuts. There was Randy. You gotta help me. I don't remember the names anymore. Spencer and Randy. I remember those because that's what everybody was chanting. So well, I guess there were some comebacks. They wouldn't even tell me who was coming out. I didn't even have titles or anything like that. And there was actually a debate over that. And they're like, wouldn't even tell me. And I'm like, guys, I don't know. I'm like, is this big? Is it fucking Jon Moxley again? Like, what's happening, right? And they come out, and I'm like, I don't know who the fuck these guys are. But you wouldn't know. You would have thought it was CM Punk's comeback night.
Maybe not the best example.
No, okay. Listen, we can remember the good times, can't we, around here? That was, I don't care how it ended. That was a fantastic night and a fantastic vibe that will never be replaceable. Okay? Like, I got the I Was There shirt, which is now, I don't know if I'll wear that again. That goes up somewhere. We had ice cream, sir. We had ice cream and T-shirts. We were happy. We were happy wrestling fans. We're the happiest of wrestling fans. And so were all these guys. The chance, the loud, you know, you wouldn't have known, you know, if you're watching on Fight and never seen a Defy wrestling show before, you're like, oh my God, who is this person? I need to know. Actually, some of the tweets literally had this. So like, I don't know who this person is, but the reaction is so great. I need to find out, you know. And you can do that in Defy on Demand, by the way. But a fantastic time. Go check out Defy. You are missing out if you're not checking out Defy. It is. I don't know if it's a best kept secret, but its secret's definitely getting out, and it's getting easier to watch as they're moving to the Fight TV platform, and it's going to be a lot easier to watch and a lot more in people's faces. They do have, if you're looking for some free stuff, they do have a free week over in their on demand. They have a YouTube channel, and I believe their show is still running over on Pluto on the Independent Wrestling TV channel, and I'm sure all that's on demand as well. I mean, this is where Swerve came out of. This is where Darby Allin came out of. This is where Bollywood Boys were frequent. At least they were there, and I think they were probably frequented beforehand. But BC area wrestlers are Defy stalwarts.
come back since the border opened up. Oh, that's right, because I think that's why the one guy was an interim, or they had an interim champ. Swerve just won the interim championship there. By the way, they just announced a 6-way ladder match, Mike, so they can unify the titles along with everybody else. Davey Richards is part of this. He was on this last show as well. A fantastic match. Who's messaging me now? I got a lot of messages during the show I'm going to have to catch up on. Hopefully one of those from Ronnie. But anyways, but no, fantastic time. Go check them out. I'll talk about more of it after talk and get into more of the details of things, and more of the fanboy details as well. So, but that's going to be on Patreon. You're going to have to tune in there in order to do that. So now that I've spent like the last half an hour gushing over production on these shows, which is probably going to happen more often than not, to be quite honest. But no, it's good. I'm having a good time here. So, Mike, anything you want to ask before we go to what you learned? Or is it save it for Patreon kind of questions?
Yeah. No, I'm just happy you're having fun.
Yes. Isn't this amazing that we've gotten, and I'm sorry, I'm having a self-reflective thing, but on a weekend like this, I have to. How many of us on this wrestling show, in the chat, have gone from fandom to working in the industry? We found our slot here to be around it, and that's been this year. I mean, just this year has been an incredible journey for so many of us here. And that's really cool. I don't want to say, like, I was talking to a friend about all the stuff going on, and they said, well, you've earned it. And I was like, I don't know if I've earned it, but I think I appreciate it, and respect it. And I feel like that's why a lot of us are in these positions.
Sorg, I'll say you earned it.
Thank you.
I've known you long enough.
Yes.
Didn't know that you've earned it.
I did catch up with an old friend last month that said, yeah, you've always been like this. I was like, I'm like, okay, that's known me for over 20 years. And like, no, you've always been this way.
Yeah.
So, which is good to remember that. So I'm so glad to have good old friends that keep me grounded like that too. So, Mike, what did you learn this week?
Oh God, I learned a few things. All right, so I learned one. All right, I learned one thing, and I want to issue a challenge.
Okay.
I know the challenge isn't going to be accepted, but I want to issue it anyway because I feel like I finally found a worthy. I've found worthy competition. The first thing I've learned is that Johnny Gargano is an incredible investigator.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to know the troupe he hires for his reenactments because they were scarily accurate.
Mm-hmm. I heard he pitched it. He pitched it to
the peacock.
The peacock. To the peacock.
Yes.
He's looking for a cock show.
Who among us? But so Sorg, I don't know if you know this about me. A lot of my friends around here do. I have something of what you would call a Wheel of Fortune aficionado.
Oh no. Tell me more, Mike.
I have been known to solve puzzles with one letter.
Mm-hmm.
I've been known to solve puzzles with no letters.
Mm-hmm.
I've watched Wheel of Fortune since the age of, I'll say conservatively 2.
Mm-hmm.
Wheel of Fortune was how I learned the alphabet, Sorg. Because I watched Wheel of Fortune, the third word out of my mouth when I was but a wee babe was spaghetti. By the way, if that doesn't tell you I'm not fucking Italian, I don't know what.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. And not Puschetti either, because I remember asking.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom assured me. I said spaghetti.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Parmigiano Reggiano was my 4th and 5th word. That's a joke. But so I've been watching Wheel of Fortune damn near 40 years. I watched a program this weekend, Sorg, called Celebrity Wheel of Fortune.
Mm-hmm.
And there was someone on there by the name of Austin Creed, aka Xavier Woods.
Mm-hmm.
And I spoilers for a show that happened on Sunday, and in as much as you can spoil a game show, Woods dominated, like destroyed. Now I watched it, and I knew every puzzle before he did. So
That's that tape delay.
no, it's not.
Hmm.
No, it's not.
Hmm.
It's not. So I do want to issue a challenge. A Wheel of Fortune challenge. Any platform, NES, PC,
Commodore 64.
Commodore 64, Xbox, Virtual Boy, whatever. I'm sure there's Wheel of Fortune on every conceivable platform you can think of.
Oh yeah, Nintendo Entertainment System.
Yep.
Game Boy.
Yeah. I'm issuing the challenge. I think I can take you down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. It's laid out there. Woodsy.
Yeah.
Woodsy.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. We're gonna have to clip that and tag him.
I want the smoke.
You want the smoke, he says.
I want the smoke, and I want to buy a vowel.
I have my trusty. You notice that the scene has changed here on this shot, because I have my trusty comfort kendo stick. Because I'm about to tell you a story that scared me this weekend.
Okay.
And I had flashbacks.
Well, it's good because we just passed the spoopy times.
Yes, because I had flashbacks to the last time that I talked to a pro wrestler and had a heated conversation and knew that he was a former legitimate wrestler or fighter. Not say, but I mean like MMA fighter of sorts. Because I was at a conversation. So I learned, this is what I learned. When you're having a conversation with a wrestler, and they may happen to work for a certain promotion, and they may have actually held a belt in a certain promotion and have a lot of respect for a certain promotion, and you're talking about we were talking about how some wrestlers love like the really love the food. They're talking about they brought up somebody that just really digs on the Taco Bell when they come over from, I can't remember if it was the Korea fellow or one of the Japanese guys that came over. And I was like, and then we talked about the Cinnabon and Takahashi, I believe, not Takahashi, Takashita. Like always, give me a second. So then I was like, oh yeah, and then there's that bread club guy. And here's a picture for illustration. This is Satoshi Kojima. Bread Club, another fantastic thing that happens on Twitter. There, he's got a Bread Club T-shirt, and he's holding a croissant. If you're on audio, and he's just delightful. He's a delightful individual. To which this individual, who definitely has legitimately kicked some people's asses in his career, it might be a little filthy, ran down. Is like, oh, you mean former Grand Slam IW? Like he basically ran down his entire portfolio of belts and. He was like, yeah, that Bread Club guy. I'm just like, yes. I'm glad I was across the table. So he's holding his hand up. Yes, sir. Question for the audience.
Okay. All right. It doesn't matter how you know someone.
Okay.
Because
I think I've made an error here over this hamburger.
But like Mick Foley put it best. Mick Foley has toured Japan, won championships in every company he's ever been in.
Yes.
You know what he's going to be known for?
The guy that fell off the cage?
The guy with the sock puppet.
Yeah, that is true. That is
so
true.
Much so, the Top
true.
Dollar cosplayed as Socko on SmackDown for Halloween.
That's true. That's true.
Like, as long as you're known for something positive, something that brought someone else joy, that should be all done.
Yes. So that's okay. I shared my fries with him later, and everything was fine. So, anyways.
One other final thing I learned. And I say this every year, and every year it continues to not happen. We need to televise NXT Halloween Battle Royal.
Yes, we do, because you see
Sword.
wonderful images. Are we about to talk about Indy Hartwell?
We can talk. Take your fucking pick.
That's the one I
got-
kept seeing.
Have you not seen JC Jane as the Undertaker?
No, I did not. I did not.
Did you see Roxanne Perez as old school ponytail Bailey?
Yes, and Mom retweeted it.
Yes,
Mother
and-
AJ retweeted it and wants a paternity test.
And Cora Jade dressed as AJ Lee.
Oh no, that's the one I was talking about. Wait, what did you?
Yeah.
Ponytail? Which one?
Roxanne Perez dressed as ponytail Bailey.
Bailey. Yeah, okay. I heard about that one.
And
Did not see it.
Bailey
But the
retweeted
AJ Lee
that
one was the one with the paternity test. Yes.
Yeah, Cora dressed as AJ. Wendy Chu dressed as a sumo wrestler, which was amazing.
Which would be the most comfortable of costumes.
She always is.
Mhm.
She's always the most comfortable.
Mhm.
And Gigi Dolan dressed as Chucky,
Mm-hmm.
which, wow, Jesus, it was terrifying and arousing at the same time. It was terror rousing. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's a thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
No, that's Triple H. Get it? That's a joke.
Well, before that, I was going to say it's probably a category on Pornhub, but
That too.
yes,
Possible.
I'm not going to investigate that because
But yeah, like
some things you can't
we-
unsee.
we need to televise the NXT Halloween Battle Royal.
Yes, please.
I need to see it.
please.
Like it's just I know it's at a live event every year. It just needs put it on Peacock as a special event.
We need
like
to, like-
fucking Werewolf by Night.
I am willing to
Put
go.
it on
I'm
there.
willing to go to Florida to see this show.
I would be too.
I am willing to go to Florida, get myself a Spirit Airline ticket, and go see this show. It would be worth it.
Yeah, it would be worth suffering through Spirit Airlines.
Yeah, oh yeah. I know I can survive going to Fort Lauderdale, but no connections. Because my God, those are. God, I think they wanted me to go to like L.A. to go to Orlando. When I looked at that stuff, like, but it's like $40. I was like, no. Tina Keys learned 2 things I've learned. It's always great to see friends through wrestling. Sorg, that's me. And it's cool to see childlike wonder in wrestling. The Wrestling Club after school program in New York City, where the New Japan Pro Wrestling show, were at the New Japan Pro Wrestling shows, and seeing the kids' reactions were everything. Oh, I wish I got to see the crowd out there. I didn't get to see any of that. I should have just wandered out there during the show. I think about it, but yeah, absolutely. I love
You should have wandered out there and just asked someone the score of a random sports ball game.
it. What?
Remember when we were at Chikara? Don't you remember? Someone came out and asked us the score of a game, and I forget who it was.
Like one of the wrestlers came out? And asked?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they came.
So,
They came out
sorry.
dur-
I keep thinking about Virgil on that weekend where he kept asking us what the score was.
No, it wasn't Virgil because I've never.
No, I
met-
know it wasn't Virgil, but no, this was a Steel City Con where we had a table beside him.
Okay.
first
no,
time.
I'm thinking of when we went to Chikara in Philly for King of Trios.
King of Trios. Did I go to 2 King? Was that in 09?
Yeah.
You were with us then, right? Yeah. Okay. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
it
think
was,
I've only been there
09
once.
because I was wearing my Yankees World Series merch. in Philly.
Oh my. Oh my. That's okay. A certain individual wore his Astros hat in Seattle Friday night.
Ooh.
And he's like, hope I don't get my ass kicked here. I'm just like, first of all, sir, this is a wheat store. I don't think anybody's gonna be mad. And
I never met me an angry pot smoker.
the security guard was a Steelers fan, though. We found that out. So
Excellent.
yes. All right, guys. Thank you so much for this. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, and apparently the Pens were in town Saturday night. And as some of the, of course, flight to Pittsburgh, and some people had their Pens gear on. Maybe they saw the game. I don't know. But the Kraken logo pinned stewardesses were like, "Oh, sorry about last night," as they were getting on. So there's a little bit of razzing going on there. So yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah.
How many cups have they won?
The Krakens?
Yeah.
Didn't they just start a couple years ago?
Exactly my point.
Okay. They have a badass intro I've seen on YouTube, though.
You know who also has a badass intro sword? Karrion Kross.
Karrion Kross. But nobody plays party hard like the Penguins. Right, P-Samp? Right? Anyways, I'm going to put the stick away and then give you the carrot of, hey, go check out Patreon. We're going to have after talk. I'm going to talk more about this weekend. Mike's going to talk about Marvel. We'll probably be staying up way too late because I think I got an appointment tomorrow at 12:30.
And I may have to work tonight.
Oh, no, that's right. Mike, don't sleep. Mike, don't sleep. Wrestling makes us not sleep.
Who sleeps anymore?
So thank you so much for being with us. This has been your Mayhem Show, your weekly dose of Mayhem Show. And we will see you guys next week. Are there plans for next week? I should probably book some guests because we haven't done that. Well, we're readjusting.
Well, Sorg, I do want to make a petition to you. I was going to say this off air, but I'm going to make it now.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get Ziggy Haim on for the Hanukkah season.
Oh, I should reach out. I don't know. She might be busy with her Twitch channel right now.
Because I still don't think she's ever heard the Hanukkah song I wrote last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I've tweeted her. I'm like, you need to go on an 8 Crazy Fights tour.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like, you know, we can signal boost that to make that happen.
We should make that happen, and we find out if she's still in communication with Coach or Dills.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, he's been in the news lately too. But I mean, the unfortunate things going on recently. But, but yeah. So I mean, you know, we did bring them together, and I'm hoping that becomes a thing. Not like a thing, but I'm like a collaborative thing, right? Like I would, Ziggy should be in a music video or something. Like, God, yeah, Ziggy's time should be in a music video for Coach Dills.
Of course, you
flat. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean that's a given.
Jeez. Thank you, everybody. At Sorgatron on the Twitter, at MadMike4883 on the Twitter, at Mayhem Show on the Twitter. All the tweets, all the time. No matter who owns the company. We'll see you guys next time. Mayhem out.
Just wait. Just wait. Just wait. Just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.